Hey guys, so for this video I decided I was going to do a comic book review of All-Star Superman. This video came about because I was wanting to read All-Star Superman because it's one of the comics supposed to be one of the greatest Superman comics of all time. It's also one of the comics that's used the most to shit on Henry Cavill Superman, so I thought, you know, I fairly certain I read it when I was younger. I remember the scene when he lets, when Superman lets his father die, which, ironic considering how so much people give fucking Henry Cavill Superman shit for letting his father die, when it's fucking perfectly, stated in the movie why he let that happen. Anyways, oh my god, that's literally the only scene I remember from this fucking piece of crap. I say piece of crap. It's so incredibly fucking boring. So fucking boring. If the reason why I fucking forget half the shit that apparently happened if I did read it was because it's just so fucking boring. Yeah, I get more into that why. Probably why I end up forgetting about the shit. So, I'm just gonna spoil this shit because I'm pretty sure people will forget about it the moment I fucking say it. So I'm just gonna go through like everything I read. So the movie starts out, he's like helping these scientists, with this like sun. I think it's gonna explode, some shit like that, and so he stops it, I guess, but he's exposed to so much radiation that he starts dying. But also, he becomes even stronger than he's ever been. But also gains additional powers because he has like this, what is it? Bioelectric field, I guess. Whatever. Anyway, so he decides he's dying. He knows he's dying. We don't really get this like metaphysical bullshit about him dying, which would have been interesting. Kind of having this like, oh my god, I'm so used to being like this invulnerable being that now I'm dying. Kind of a crisis. Nope. He decides he's going to create this serum that bottles up all his powers, then give it to Lois Lane so that she can have his powers for a day for some fucking reason. So she gets the powers and she's wearing on this stupid suit. But he also lets her like just go randomly wandering through the fortress and ends up releasing some fucking beings that almost cause destruction, but he seems very blasé about it. She also sees this being from another planet, and he's like covered in bandages, which is going to be later relevant in the book. But Superman sees him, or knows of him. So yeah, he seems very like blasé about the fact that she has these godlike powers. He's just giving a human the godlike powers. She also just let her randomly fucking run through his goddamn fortress with that's harboring dangerous ass beings, and he seems like not to give a fuck about it. So yeah, and he's like apparently dying, and his cells are dying, which makes him apparently immune to green kryptonite for some reason, but he still has his other powers. These two dipshits show up, Samson and Atlas, and their entire fucking, the only purpose they seem to have is to be a competition to Superman, literally, because they fucking find, they see Lois and they're like, oh, I think she's fucking hot. Why don't we try to have a fucking, a competition, I guess, with Superman to see who's more fucking masculine or some horse shit, who's stronger, some garbage like that. And whoever's stronger, well, they get to fucking spend the day with Lois. That's literally their entire fucking plot. Oh, and of course, they had this, Samson is apparently a fucking traveler from the future. but he doesn't tell Superman about this really critical event that's going to happen. He just spends the entire time saying, hey, I want to fucking, hang out with Lois because I think she's hot. Turns out that I'm going to be jumping around because, I don't know, I think this skips around, I don't know. But anyways, one of the two dipshits gives her these jewels. Well, it turns out that these jewels were stolen from the Ultra Sphinx, because that's a thing. And the Ultra Sphinx comes and is going to punish Lois because she's the one that has the jewels on her. But Superman decides, hey, I'm going to give up my life to save her. And so Samson is apparently time traveling from the future. And would know about this, wouldn't he? And so he literally just crossed this entire fucking bullshit that happened. And I know it's probably going to claim, oh, well, it happens later in the book. I don't give a fuck. I hate this anyways. This whole stupid bullshit when this, the only reason they seemed to be fucking there was to introduce competition to fucking Superman. The goddamn storyline in this fucking book is so stupid. Anyways, then we go on this weird-ass fucking, we have this, I don't know, I think they were, split into sections where they all start, like all comics, the ones I read, they're, multiple comics smashed into one. Well, one of them just goes off on some tyrant with Jimmy Olsen, and I can tell you, I don't give two fucks about that character. He is so fucking boring, and this comic with him was so fucking boring, because he goes with these scientists and does some bullshit. I can't even remember what he did. I think he eventually, at the end of the book, he gets back into his girlfriend's pants because he etched her initials, or his, him and hers initials with a heart on the moon of all fucking things, because that's apparently okay. But yeah, I didn't give two shits about that. Oh, and we also got Doomsday Olsen, of course, which is hysterical because we got so much shit from BVS. Because we got, not the original Doomsday, but just a different version of him, which was very blatantly obvious, supposed to be a different version of him, but we get Doomsday Olsen, but people still fucking kiss the ass of this comics while shitting on BVS, so that pissed me off. Oh, and we get this entire fucking just random ass bullshit with Lex Luthor and Superman. So Lex Luthor is in prison for, I think he's the one who fucking was gonna cause that sun explosion in the beginning. So he's in prison now. Superman's going to interview him. And then this parasite gets free, I guess. And then he goes on this tyrant. And I think he's targeting Lex or some shit. And, my God. The amount of times they made him into this bumbling oaf. They made Superman this bumbling oaf. So that they could, try to cover up him using his powers, to protect Lex of all people from this, from Parasite. But he sure as fuck let all these other prisoners die, but God forbid Lex die, right? Because we have to have him for the later comics. Though, once again, the fact that in this comics, Superman is all too willing to let just fucking prisoners die willy-nilly, as long as it's not the big bad, right? And he doesn't even lose any sleep over it. Oh, and so the next thing that happens, a bunch of weirdo Superman show up. Where I say weirdos, because I don't want to even bother trying to remember what their fucking names are, because there's one that's from another dimension. Anyways, some weirdo Superman show up. Superman doesn't question it, despite the fact that one of them looks exactly like the fucking dude from the hologram, which I'm pretty sure it wasn't, this, instance now when all the other Superman show up. It wasn't supposed to be like a flashback, I don't know. It hurts my brain to think about this. Anyways, they don't blink an eye that these bunch of weirdo Supermen show up. The kids don't blink an eye that a bunch of weirdo Superman show up. They just allow them into the house willy-nilly. And so Jonathan ends up dying in the stupidest way possible because, Superman, I think he's feeling insecure shit about these other weirdo Superman. And so they're like, I'm going to try to show you how masculine I am and all this horse shit by, doing all these chores and all these tasks to show you how strong, how I'm stronger than you. Well, while that's happening, his father is dying of a heart attack. And he's not able to save him in time. And then it's revealed that the Superman with all the fucking bandages was actually that Superman from the future, and the reason why he hid his identity is that he wanted his father to die because he had to die because his death impacted shit that happened in the future. And that's when I stopped reading. And it wasn't like, well, I hate this. It was just I got bored and I just wanted a break, and I never got I never got back to reading it because I had zero interest in reading that book, and it felt like it was going to be a slog to start it again. So I ended up stopping reading it. I skimmed the rest though. So apparently Lex Luthor gets powers. Superman stops him, of course. Superman appears to have died, but I think he just goes to the future. Kind of vague. Well, that was essentially the fucking boring ass story. One, I fucking hated the artwork in this book. It's so goddamn hideous. I fucking hated it. I'm sorry to whoever artist made it. I don't want to look it up. But it was ugly as shit, and it just really distracted me. Especially like the men. They're like a bunch of they're like brick chicken houses with like a ball stuck on the top of their head. That's how because they're like so chunky, and then they have a tiny, tiny head. And it was just so distracting and annoying. They're just, they're out of proportion to how human beings actually fucking look like. I did not give a shit about Lois and Clark. They just felt so one-dimensional. Oh my god, it pissed me off so much because they was, in this comic, Clark actually told her, he kept telling her that he's actually Superman, but she kept saying, kept brushing it off as a fucking joke. So it literally made Lois Lane so fucking stupid in this book. And that's why I love Man of Steel, because at least she was fucking smart enough to realize who the fuck he was. This one, it was just so goddamn irritating. And of course they played it, no doubt played the bumbling oath bullshit to try to hide the fact that she was, to make it less believable that he would be Superman. And it's the same thing I had with most Superman books. I felt like all the entire book, everyone worshipped him, except for Lex. Yes, I think that was literally it. Everyone fucking worshipped Superman except for Lex, who hated him. And it just irritates the fuck out of me when we get that in these comics. You wonder why people call Superman boring? It's because of that. And of course, he didn't seem bothered at all by anything that's happened. Oh, well, his fucking, he's dying. Well, okay, so let's just give his girlfriend some powers. Oh, well, his girlfriend is, being haunted by the Ultra Sphinx. Yeah, he gives his fucking life to her, but we really don't, once again, see any emotions from him. Just, I don't know. I don't want to fucking think about this book anymore, because it's so goddamn boring. If you think of any Superman comics that actually are interesting, that have like maybe a lot of, emotions from Superman, conflicting, like something happens and he's so conflicted and distraught and just actually showing emotions, then yeah, just give me some recommendations because I'm kind of desperate. trying to think of one comic book Superman I really did enjoy. I mean, I guess Crisis on Infinite Earths, because we see him, react to Supergirl dying. Although that's, once again, one of the ones I probably read when I was really, really young, and I have to go read it again, so. But yeah. I did not finish All-Star Superman, but I don't feel like I missed anything. And I read like halfway through, and it gave me enough knowledge about it to not want to finish it. That's how I feel about it. So, yeah, so if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to get notifications for all the videos I'll be doing, and you guys have a nice night, stay safe out there, and talk to you later.